Namaste, everybody. I am J. Rose. J. Rose Healing is my business name, and you have come live to Spirit Speaks. Hi, Lynn. And Spirit Speaks is a beautiful platform to connect to Spirit. So I'm going to connect the group to Spirit, and whoever comes on and are magnetically attracted to this space will come. And let's get started. So first we're going to start with sound. This is my way of connecting creatively with my divine expression to Spirit. So I'm just going to tap the bowl and bring in the sound. And just feel that sound going through every part of you. And the second element today that I would like to connect, it doesn't always happen routinely. It goes by whatever my creative expression wants to express at that moment. Is I want to bring in the spirit guides that I work with that are here to enhance this session. So let's bring those in now. And then the third element I want to do is open up the heart space. So feel your heart like petals of a flower, opening doorways to new, fresh information, and allow it in. And just feel with every heartbeat, with every breath, you are going deeper and deeper into that place that is supreme life enhancing. So who is J. Rose Healing? Who's Juliana Rose? Juliana Rose is a multi-dimensional starlight presence here on the planet Earth, at this time to be a guide for the great awakening and remembering that's happening on this earth plane at this time. I am here. I have traveled many lifetimes to be here with all of you today. And I've been on this spirit journey for more than 23 years now. And I'm constantly growing and expanding and evolving and strengthening my soul's divine essence spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally on a moment-to-moment basis, to assist others on their soul's journey, path, and mission as well. I work with people privately as well as in groups, and I'm currently growing many different programs to build a mystery school of light and community, so that individuals like light workers, star seeds, way showers, grid workers, guides of many different kinds here on the planet who are awakening but not really sure what that means, need more advancement of their skills, can come in and take some courses from very fundamental all the way to advanced to be a higher frequency being that they are meant to be. And we are all in this together. So it's like a symphony, right? Symphony of sound, of movement, and more. So Spirit Speaks came about as another phase of guidance. So this platform assists others in guiding them how to connect to spirit, which is one of the fundamentals of connecting to who you truly are. And this is the first phase of Spirit Speaks. I've been told that there will be many different phases of it based on the advancement and evolution of humanity. So here we are. Thank you for coming. Today we have a very special guest. Her name is Lynn Singer. And I'm going to read you Lynn Singer's bio. Lynn Singer has taught actors at Yale and New York University. She has worked with celebrity clients, Oscar-nominated actors, Pulitzer, Tony, Golden Globe Prize winners, and world champion athletes. Wow. Lynn was the voice of radio and television commercials, voiceover for 20 years. Heard by 45 million people. Probably more than that. Right, Lynn? She's acted on stage, television, and film. She has a bachelor's in English literature and with a fellowship from, I guess that's San Francisco State College. You'll have to correct that one for me. And she's done several media and radio interviews. And I would love to bring Lynn on stage. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring Lynn on stage and we're going to have a conversation about how she interacts with spirit. Let us begin.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, beautiful being.
Yeah. Hi. Oh, I just want to take a moment to connect to you with love and above and just be in your grace.
Thank you so much. So honored to be here with you.
Thank you. Me as well.
You know, when you were reading my bio, I thought to really not just tell our people how I connect, but what my journey was, a little bit of my journey, because I think that, it's like you blew out of the shell, out of the womb with all of this knowledge. I had to have a nervous breakdown to open up to it. And
I get that.
That was terrifying, really, because I was in the arts and voice. I always had this voice, but I wasn't doing anything that I'm doing now. I always had people would say, you look like you're not quite on the earth, right? But I don't know what that meant. But the journey to where I am now, where I can say to the world, I'm clairaudio, I'm clairvoyant, I'm, clairsentient, and really feel it and hold it, because I would have thought that was crazy a while back.
So did I at one point. I sure did. Tell me about it. I was a big skeptic for a very long time. I just want to give a shout out to the audience. We have Fatih. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Fatih Selik. Hi. For some reason, when I tap wave to you, I cannot. So I'm waving to you live. Okay, so Lynn, would you mind me asking you a few questions on this platform because we're here to teach and
Sure.
in your mastery, you've learned quite a few things and I want to give audience more wisdom, okay, from a worldly global point of view. So the first question I have for you is, how do you stay connected to your heart?
How I stay connected to my heart is through breath and through
Mm-hmm.
grounding and through constant reminders. Stay connected to your heart, stay connected to your heart. But when I ground myself, because it's very easy for me to fly around, and I know that's true of many people, but when I connect by grounding my body, by being here, I am usually connecting to my heart in that way. And also, it's the breath. The breath
Yeah.
is the monument that brings us in. I mean, when we do connect really deeply in the breath, we're opening ourselves up to the fullness of ourselves. A lot of people can't do that. That's a whole other talk. I mean, how
Yeah.
to bring people fully into breath. But it's so powerful. When we think about it, it's connected to the subconscious and to the conscious and to the imagination and the prana. It's called prana of life, right?
Right.
Ex-
So what you mentioned, I want to step back just a moment because I'm giving very basics here, fundamentals, starting from a very
okay.
clear platform for people so that they can rise up to higher levels with intrigue and interest. So when you talk about grounding, what is grounding for you? What does that mean? Fatih, if you are resonating with this information, give us a thumbs up or a heart. If you're resonating with what Lynn has to say at any moment, I really appreciate the interaction.
And constant
So,
queen also joined.
oh, great. Welcome. Thank you for coming. So,
Ground,
um,
grounding for me means to bring all of my energy through myself, connecting to my feet and the earth.
mhm,
And for me, again, I studied bioenergetic therapy for about 20 years. And it's the breath needs to come all the way through you, and down to the feet and into the earth. So, how do we do that? These are exercises of yoga, certainly, but simple exercises of just simply standing with your feet under you and bringing your head down all the way to the floor. So you're like this, and to press your feet really deeply into the ground and get this relaxation in. This is a deep relaxation, deep relaxation exercise. And keep breathing, keep dropping the head more and more through the neck, keep dropping the neck until you start to feel, oh, something has changed. And then very slowly coming up and noticing the change in your body and the change in your own emotional connection. Where am I? Am I calmer? What am I feeling? Am I
Mm-hmm.
feeling calmer? So I think, yeah.
I want to shout out to the audience. Does all of this resonate with you guys? Are you getting what she's talking about? Have you guys experienced being grounded and earthed in what she's discussing? If so, give a thumbs up or a heart if you are resonating with this conversation, because it is interactive and we want to recognize all of you who have been present for this conversation. Thank you. So Lynn, okay, so we've got the introduction of, staying connected into the heart, staying connected through the feet and the bioenergetics,
Body.
the body energetics, right? And then connecting to earth, right? Thank you, Ronnie. Hello.
Old friend and a student of mine in Israel. Hello, Ronnie.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
So we've got those basics, right? Now let's take it another step further. How do you remain true to yourself daily? What is true to you, and how do you remain in that place while walking earth? Because we've got this body, the energetics of the body, we're walking earth. So how do you remain true with who you are in your uniqueness?
I check in. I'm not, I have a lot to do with social media, and it's not my genius. And I get this like, and I have to, I have to take a big break. I have to take a walk. I have to watch 10 minutes of a film because I adore film, and it's big part of who I am. Or cut the flowers that need cutting, or something to help me stay in my body if I've gotten unhappy and start, I can't find what to do. Where's my assistant? Why can't I call her? And it's like, okay, nothing. And I talk to myself. I talk to myself a lot.
Me too.
For good and for difficulty. I talk everything out that I'm going to do. Like I'm answering questions a lot to myself about what I want to do with certain things that I have to do for work or for life, right? Or for if there's a struggle with someone, I get into a question and answer with them and just talk out loud. But I also do that with myself when I get tied up, and I just go, nope, okay, this isn't working. You're not breathing. Go do an exercise. So depending on what I'm feeling, I'll either do one of the exercises that I just gave you, or take a walk. Walks are magic. They're magic, and they feed the intuition.
Well, you're connecting, right?
It's amazing. Walks are amazing. Yeah. And so I just keep on pulling myself back.
Pulling yourself back into what feels most like you, right?
But it takes a while to train yourself to pull yourself back. You can say, oh, I'm out of alignment and I don't feel good, and I got a reason to not feel good, and all stuff that people do.
You could play the drama, right? The drama game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's not working.
And most of the time, it's just us playing the game, in a way that's not really going to enhance our power. So,
right.
The follow-up question on that is, I want to know what spirit is, and I'm sure the audience wants to know too. What is spirit for you?
Oh, wow. Do you have a day or two that we can talk about?
Give us the Spirit for Dummies version. The short version of your long life version of what spirit is.
I'll tell you, the first time I noticed that some spirit was around me, that was and I finally asked it after a year. I was so scared. I didn't know what it might be. And I said, do you have a name? And they said, call me Gabe. And I said, whoa, Gabrielle, that's amazing. That happened at about the same time that I felt Athena in my apartment. And because I was doing a show, I did 3 shows with the Greek government. And she was so powerful, I said, you have to go back on the walls. She's all, this is too much. I can't now I can. Because I then saw her later in a dress. So I've always felt the connection to God. As a child, I felt it. But I was scared of it. Mm-hmm. So I had to learn to turn that into something that felt good. And it is, I think, the easiest way for me to say it is, spirit is my connection to my own higher self in accordance with the higher self that is. I think and I felt a jolt when I said that. I've never said that before. No one has ever asked me that before. Thank you.
You tapped into the essence of the unknown. Well, that's how I can translate it.
I never said it before.
That's pretty amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah, see, you opened even, just doing all of this. If anybody's like getting a smile and getting the feeling of what this is, and if you're not familiar with feeling and sensating emotion in its truth, you're going to get a sense of that with Spirit Speaks, because, that's what I'm all about. So you have this essence now, and it's awake and alive, and how do you communicate with it? How do you communicate with this energy? What do you do? Do you sit under a tree with it, or do you do it walking and talking, just your daily life? How do you communicate and connect?
I never had a problem with that. Right now I can just go, Gabrielle, would you please come? And Athena, would you please come? And I just felt my back go up, and I just said that.
I did too.
I think that when I was teaching acting here, not at Yale, but in New York, at one of the very good T. Schreiber studios, Ronnie, if you're still here, it's where I know Ronnie from. Teaching acting to young people is so, not just young and older, so frightening, because they have to really just tear open their emotional life and be with who they really are. And they've been afraid to show who they really are. That's really why they're studying acting. And so I went into acting class 4 months after I had a nervous breakdown. I had always wanted it, and I was going to take it now. And I'd never had that problem of opening the door to the character through myself, I mean, it could be hard someday and not the others. So I remember I would be saying to myself, what am I going to say to so-and-so to make it easier for him to understand that he is a bottleneck of terror? How can I talk to that? And I would just say those questions to myself, and it was like I started channeling. I didn't even know it. And I didn't even even know it. It would just come out of me, and I'd say, okay, you're all dismissed. It's 10 minutes early. Say, no, talk to us the way you talk to us. And it would just open my mouth and it would come out. I would say, what should I say? And it would just come through me. And it's my most wonderful place to be. It is just so wonderful to be, as you know.
What does it feel like? I'm wanting the audience to know what it feels like for you, because obviously you have this natural, organic way. That's the way I work too. I'm very organic and it's easy for me. But for some, it's not. So what is it,
I think asking oneself the deeper questions opens the door to spirit. Well, now when I tell, it can go even deeper than the channeling. But I think that asking those questions is going to open the doors to anybody. Asking the questions that you do not want to know the answer to. I don't want to know why I'm so frightened. Don't want to know why I can't do this. I'm too scared to hear it. Take that step and just ask. Tiny bit. Just tell me a little bit why I'm frightened. Just tell me a little bit. Give me a dream. Give me a dream about it. And I think that or I'll study lucid dreaming and maybe that will help me. There's all sorts of things that help. Poetry to me is sacred. I lived with a poet and I have a degree in literature, and you said to me, you looked at me the very first moment you looked at me, you said, you're a poet. And I was like, oh, and I was hearing it everywhere suddenly. And I never thought of myself like that. I'm an artist, okay, and I'm a teacher, but a poet, the poet is like the God voice.
Yeah.
It's God voice. So reading poetry slowly, memorizing poetry. You become the poet when you memorize poetry, and memorize Shakespeare. Why not Shakespeare? If you're going to memorize any poetry, do the best, right?
Do the best, right?
That will start you resonating with your higher self. Poetry is a shoe-in to your higher self.
You mentioned that. Oh my goodness, a memory is coming back. My mom and I, in our small apartment, she would write poetry and practice on me. And I was very young at that time, and I didn't really understand. I was in my dance world at the time, and she would read it to me, and it's like, right now it's like, it's like vibrating. Oh my goodness, what your words are like coming back to me in my child form. So thank you for saying that. Wow. That was an opening for me.
The first time I felt, I guess we were in 8th grade, and we were reading The Rime of the Ancient Mariner by Coleridge. It's a major poem. Coleridge was alive the same time Shelley and Keats and all those guys.
Right.
And this was 20 pages of quatrain, which means 4 lines rhyming. Can you imagine? 4 lines rhyming, 20 pages. And there was a moment when the mariner, they're at sea, and he kills the bird of good luck. And I saw the whole thing in front of me in my desk. It was just like, whoosh. And I didn't know what it meant. And it was also scary because he killed the bird of good luck. I said, oh my God, am I killing some good luck? I didn't know what to think of it. But that vision came up to me. And that was the first time I had any clairvoyance, I didn't know what to do with it for years. It didn't come back. But I think that I know I'm not alone in this. I know that the poetry that some of us has had to read very, very young. This is the forest primeval, the murmuring pines and the hemlocks. That line opened me to poetry. Pines, murmuring pines, the trees can talk. What is this all about?
So what's coming up for me is to ask you. So do you believe that the imagination can connect you to more of spirit?
Absolutely. I think that the artists, when true artists, are preachers, are godheads. They're bringing, they are in the moment. They see what's going on rather than, I wish I were in fifth grade and still getting popsicles and whatever people are saying to themselves. Or let's get this over with really quickly and let's get to, no, they're right here showing us.
Yeah.
And that I think is extraordinary. And yes, it opens the door because it opens the third eye. It opens, the third eye just, right? When you watch, I remember also when I was a child, I have one cousin who's a very, very good painter. And she's been painting since we were very, very young. And I went to find her one day. I couldn't find her. And she was on the porch and she was drawing. Her concentration she was 10. Her concentration was the concentration of an adult. And I just stood there watching her for a long time because I didn't have that then. I was thinking, not at all. And it was an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
She was totally there.
Totally focused.
The artist.
That's another thing, Lynn, I want to, just mention is that when you're totally focused and giving that focus internally to spirit, right? Then it enhances that platform.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to mention to the audience, if you have a question for Lynn, please type it in the chat so that I can ask her for you. Please type it in the chat and I would love to ask her. So Lynn, can you please tell us if, how can people find you and what events you have coming up?
People can find me through my new website, LS VoiceWorks, and my email, LS Lynn Singer, LS at lsvoiceworks.com. I'm going to be giving a introduction to voice in about 6 weeks. And I would need your email in order to send you some work on that, right? And I give a 20-minute to half-hour consult free for private voice work. So those are the two things that I have happening right now. I've been very ensconced with working on this.
Don't forget to mention, I'm pulling you back, your book. Tell us about your book.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. Also, that Juliana and I are also on the Healers Network, which is a group of healers and it's amazing. You can do all sorts of things. You can speak to people, you can play with people, you can ask people questions. It's
Sherry Kaplan's, how does she word it? Sherry Kaplan's Healers Network, right?
Healers Network. And
yeah,
the next
I think
one
that's
will be July 30th. And it's
Stay tuned, everybody. Get in contact with Lynn so that you can see her live. Those are amazing events to sample her work and get a good taste of if you resonate. Hi, Vera. Okay, so Lynn, tell us a little bit about your book. Tell us about your book.
My book is called Breaking into Brilliance. And it came through a dream. It came through a dream. And I took the dream up, maybe too fast even. But it is online, it is interactive, animated, and voiced by me. And the soft cover, which is on Amazon, is it's like an artist's notebook. There's writing, there's my drawings and photographs, and it moves from unconsciousness to freedom. It basically is asking all the questions that I want you to ask yourself in order to change the vibration, change the dial in us. You know, when did this happen, and why do you think it happened, and where should we go with this? And it's very playful, but very, very deep. I love it. I'm very proud of it, and I'm going to show you the cover right now.
Show us the cover. In the meantime, while she's showing us the cover, if you have a question for Lynn Singer, type it in the chat so that we can read it out loud if you want it to be read for everybody.
I don't think, yeah, you kind of...
Breaking into brilliance.
Creative consciousness. It's about creative consciousness. And this is really important because most people feel they are not creative. You know, they just don't know how creative they really are. And they don't know that walking across the street is a creative act. They are built in creativity. I tell people this all the time. The sperm and the egg, it's the most powerful creativity here on the planet. And that's what the book is about, is awakening that, pulling off the crust, taking off the crust, and awakening us.
Well, I want to add something to the audience is Lynn helped me. When I was a few months ago, I had something going on with my throat, but I didn't know what it was. And then I was introduced to Lynn. We met each other at Sherry Kaplan's fair. And something inside of me said, you guys have had a relationship before in another lifetime, and she could help you with whatever is going on in your throat. And one day she gave me just a little sample, and something, it was like a bubble that just kind of opened up, and that's all it took. And I was like, something shifted in me, and it opened.
You put your neck back like that.
Yes.
You stretched your neck back.
And something opened. It was amazing.
I know. But it was also you. You know, sometimes someone will do that and it will happen like that.
Instantaneously. It was right on the edge.
But many people are frightened of that opening. Another exercise I give, which is really powerful and scary, is putting your tongue out.
Putting your tongue.
Putting your tongue out. And that scares a lot of people because it opens the throat. When you open the throat, you begin to feel new things. And that's just hard for a lot of people. We have to do it slowly.
Yeah.
Because the emotional life can't, and the nerve endings, they can't take it. Has to be done slowly.
Yeah.
I know this because it was done real fast with me, and in 10 seconds.
You weren't ready for it, yeah.
Oh my God, in 10 seconds I became a different person. And truly, somebody said that to me who was going back and forth from California to New York. He said, I left one person and I came back to another. It's like, wow. It truly, so what's this jump that's going on? People feel that way. You know, that's what happens when the emotional life gets opened up with the breath and with the voice. People constantly are saying, this isn't my voice. And I'm saying, yes, it is. You've been in a hidden voice. You've been hiding your voice. You've been defending yourself through a hidden voice forever because that's what you had to do.
Yeah.
Then they
Trauma, fear, whatever.
It's amazing to see people come up from the exercises and stand up, and they look taller, and they're suddenly at ease, and they're suddenly saying, wow, I feel like I can say anything. I feel like I'm just like, who am I? I feel like this gauze has dropped off me. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And they always look so shining and beautiful. And I think that the big part, if they don't get their voice for whatever reason, they learn to breathe.
The most basic fundamental thing we can.
You know, they, of course they're breathing or they wouldn't be alive, but they're not really breathing to use
consciously.
And to use themselves, to use who they really are.
Lynn, it's been such a pleasure to have you. One more time, guys. This is your last opportunity. Lynn is offering to answer any questions that you may have. Let's give the audience just a couple more seconds to type in the chat anything that you would want her to answer for you. Hi, Vera. Hi, Chris. Hi, Ida. Hi, Ronnie. Is it?
Ronnie.
Yeah.
Hi.
Anyway.
Ronnie. And now and Faith. Faith Selick.
Fati, I think it is Fati. I don't know.
Fati Selick.
Oh.
And Chris.
And someone just arrived. Aji.
And Chris.
And so I just want to finish up with saying, you know, as we go on in life and we meet people, we are connecting, we are part of spirit. We just get caught up in the exterior life so much. So take time, do some of the exercises that Lynn offered in the beginning of the talk, and just be a part of who you truly are. Hello, Ronnie says hello, Lynn.
Hello,
with a big heart.
Ronnie.
Big hearts to everybody. And I'm so, go ahead.
I also do about every 6 weeks on Eventbrite called Change Your Voice, Change Your Life, Change the World. And I do it for free for an hour and a half. So that's something to look for. Something to look for, okay?
Ooh, I really want to send me that link. I'm going to register for that for you.
Thank you.
I would really like to try that. I've got some more development to do, so.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
It's coming. I can feel it. Anyways, I want to thank you and your presence. Thank you for all your wisdom. And thank you for presenting your divine character and essence to us. And a shout out to all the audience who was here and all that will be listening to the recording. Namaste. Thank you, Lynn. Namaste. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Oh, and Vera's interested. So, Vera, please connect with Lynn Singer. What's your Instagram, Lynn Singer?
My Instagram is, oh my God, B.I.B., Lynn Singer, B.I.B., Breaking into Brilliance. And also my email, ls@lsvoiceworks.com. And remember, I'll give you first lesson, you get 50% off. Hope to see you. Bye
Bye
bye.
for now. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much, Juliana.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Much love. We'll talk soon.
Yes. Bye all.